Monday night's NBL will see Adelaide travel up to Sydney to take on the Kings. Before we get into it, subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and comment on who you think's going to win this matchup. Now, I'll tell you who I think's going to win, and it is a little bit obvious in this one. It feels like Adelaide's season is hanging on by a thread, and that thread is screaming for help at the moment. Look, it all fell apart against Perth, and we really saw the real Adelaide. There is a little bit of turmoil happening at the club. There's a lot of media buzz going around that is all negative about the group. And look, they will want to shut all of that up by putting in a big performance against the Sydney Kings. But what they need to do is sort out their defense. They are the worst defensive team in the NBL at the moment. They average 107.33 points against them in their past 6 matches. And look, it comes down to their perimeter defense. We saw Dylan Windler go absolutely off in the first half for Perth by just getting a little bit of space because of the double team on Bryce Cotton. Look, Windler dropped 6 threes by himself in the first half of that game, and then it was absolutely all over from there. Look, when it comes to Sydney, their key men in this one are going to be Jalen Adams and Kouat Noi. They're their 2 best perimeter shooters. Adams has been a little bit off from the perimeter over the last few games, but Kouat Noi has been hot, averaging 3 threes in his past 4 games. So certainly looking for him to keep up that record against the worst perimeter defense in the NBL, allowing an average 3-point percentage of 40.2 to their opposition. So you've got these 2 perimeter shooters. You also expect another big game from next star Alex Tui, who is absolutely on fire and pushing his claims in the 2025 NBA draft. Tui had his first 2 20-plus NBL games in Sydney's past 2 matches. There's also a double-double in there as well. So Tui's taking things into his own hands and really showing that he is an NBA-ready player. So expect him to have a big one against the biggest marker in the league in Montrezl Harrell, who he'll be trying to drive through to get to the net as he has been doing the last few matches. Now, where's this one going? Definitely going to Sydney. The line is -6.5. I see Sydney surpassing that just purely based on them getting some momentum. They are going to have to perform a little bit better in the first half of the game. They've saved themselves a lot in the past 8 or 9 games. They have won the fourth quarter in 8 of those, which means they're needing to work extremely hard in the fourth quarter. That'll put some danger into this game if they have a slow start, because Adelaide need to build momentum. They are a very emotional team. If they're high and hot, they will try and fire and put a nail into Sydney. So I think Sydney are going to need to have a better start. They'll get a better start, and then they will cover the -6.5 as the favourite. I think the team total's in trouble. Sydney haven't scored over 100 points in consecutive games this season, but they will do that in this one. They scored over 100 against Illawarra, realizing that they needed to push their offense, and they'll roll that into this one against the worst defense in the NBL. So over their team total of 98.5, cover the 6.5 as the favorite, and Kouat Noi to drop 3+ threes in this one. Just remember, spending time with your family, gamble responsibly, and happy punting.